final statements on the day, I think everyone's exhausted. Like, legitimately, fuck this election cycle and fuck this endless news cycle. I mean, it's we just did the 2nd anniversary of that massive terror attack in Israel, which is still a miserable fucking disgusting thing that Hamas did, and they all deserve to get fucking cracked for it. But like, man, it's been a year of talking about that. It's been fucking 2 years of fretting about this election that is now in a month. And it's like, simultaneously you can't get away from it, but also you can't talk about it. You know, all these subjects are like basically like demonetized or worthless, but it's like because it's like what everyone's talking about and no one wants to hear about it and everyone hears about it too much. And I'm like to that point too. Like, I like to think of myself as trying to be a little newsy here, but I'm like newsed out. I don't fucking care. Like, I can't learn anymore. You know what I mean? I cannot react to another actual Donald Trump foible unless it's fucking hilarious. Like, it sounds ghoulish, but like unironically, like I need another assassination attempt minimum to give a fuck about anything. Like, even I'm to this point where I don't want him to win, but I don't even know if I would have like an emotional reaction at all if he didn't, or if he did, you know, like if Donald Trump actually like fucking took a second thing, I don't even think I could like sum up the juice to be mad. Like, if it was like, democracy's over, guys, we didn't do it, I'd be like, all right, I did everything I could do. I don't fucking care anymore. I've been talking about anti-electoralism since May, right? Like, I think April or May. 6 months, basically. It was the start of talking about the goddamn uncommitted movement before I even fucking came up with a name for them that somehow spread out and became the name. Fucking awesome. Uncommitted losers. We've been talking about that for 6 months. I got one follow-up I have to do. I have to do like one last thing on anti-BDS laws, which I might not end up even doing on stream. I don't think I will. I don't think I want to. I can't build up the juice to give a fuck. So it might just be a video essay or something that I can throw together on the side. But like, man, I had fun. Oh, well, good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed yourself. I just want it to be way better. I just want it to be way more fun. Way more fucking fun. Like, and I want the fucking chat and shit to work. That's the other thing. Mix it up. I'm so pissed at fucking Mix It Up right now. God damn it. I'm only tuned into this current election because I'm afraid of Project 2025 ending the world primarily because of the climate change. I know, but it's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, the wolf coming stage, you know? And maybe it was wolves all the time. This is my impression. This is where the election is right now. This might be a mini segment, legitimately. This is where the election is right now. There are alarms going off. These are important alarms for important things, but they have been going off for so long that the alarm has become background noise. The alarm is no less stress-inducing. It's a stressful fucking alarm. It's constantly on. It's constantly changing pitches and direction. It is just getting you at all fucking times. The alarm is on. The alarm is coming. And I think I've been hearing that alarm since 2012. And it's not like, I've been reacting to it. I've been voting and shit. I remember 2012 specifically for this thing, the 2012 election cycle. And it's 2010 is really what I'm talking about. And I remember it was like Jon Stewart or somebody commenting at that time, it doesn't feel like we stopped campaigning after 2008. It feels like we're just still going into the same campaign. And like, there wasn't much of a pause. And we got to like 2012 and it was horrible, miserable fucking campaign with, you know, everybody's being dicks to Barack Obama. Then we're going to 2016 and that interim 4 years was miserable. And that's where we got the lead into Trump. And everyone's like, well, Hillary Clinton's definitely going to fucking run. And then we're going to have to pretend to give a fuck about Hillary Clinton. People were saying that in 2012. I don't give a shit about Hillary Clinton as a candidate. I fucking hate her. as a person. I don't like the way that she talks. Just everything about her is repugnant to me. I don't give a fuck. It's nothing to do with sexism. Please stop saying that. I just don't like her. I like a lot of other women. I just don't like her. I don't like her kids. I don't like her husband. I don't like her. They're gonna fucking force that down my throat. And like the 2016 ended and the election cycle or 2012 ended and the election cycle for 2016 kind of just began. And everyone's like, okay. And then we got there and it was a win. And then that election itself never ended. If you guys remember the Trump 4 years, I know it's 8 years ago starting now, he just kept doing rallies. You remember that? Like, he started campaigning for 2020 immediately. That's why you always had Trump content. He just started running for office again immediately afterwards. Just, these are the biggest rallies. Very big rally. We had a lot of people out there in Enid, Oklahoma, talking about wildcatting. We're doing some wildcatting of some oil properties. Fracking. I'm bringing fracking back. Obama said he didn't do fracking. I'm bringing it back. Fracking is back very soon. Like, and it just kept going. And then the EPA got shut down. Shut down the fucking EPA for a while. And all that stuff happened. And then 2012 or 2020. And then it was just endless. You know, BLM. We were still in fucking COVID lockdown. High stress. All the and it doesn't make it any less important to go and vote in these things. But there was just an active attempt, first off on the Republican side, to get Republicans terrified all the time. That's what their entire news cycles was about, is pushing fucking Peepaw to the absolute limit with his fucking catheterized sixth bypass heart, getting him fucking nervous about rape gangs in Britain like that's gonna happen in fucking, you know, Little Rock, Arkansas tomorrow. Okay, Peepaw, calm the fuck down. That's a different country. Oh, well, we got Muslims here too. Like, literally shut the fuck up, Peepaw. You're coming off a little fucking psychotic right now, okay? Just shut the fuck up. You know, everyone had to deal with that. And then Peepaw died because of COVID. Like, so many people's racist grandpas kicked it and their grandmas just died. Just a bunch of them sucking wind like fish, going down left and right. And that whole time we were just like, oh my God, thank God for Joe Biden. And it was true, but like Donald Trump the election never ended. He didn't like concede. We had to do 4 years of the election's not over. We got to do a recount. We got to go meet at the landscaping company, and Rudy Giuliani's fucking hair's melting. We're just now handing down indictments and sentences for people that tried to cheat at the last election. Like 2016 didn't end, and 2016 was an extension of the 2012 to 2016 fucking election cycle. It just blew through 2020. And now I'm here. I was so excited about doing election coverage, and I don't fucking care anymore. I don't fucking care. I know, I get it. I think like that's where maybe some of you anti-electoralists are like exhausted. You still shut up. I don't want to hear your exhaustion anymore because I'm trying to do stuff. You know what I mean? But like, I just can't get into it. I hear people. I've been watching a lot of Hutchinson and Pondering Politics. That little fucking him, Pisco, and the other guy. Sorry, other guy. You're the other guy. And they're doing some pretty solid, like, dry as fuck. You know, I'm old now. I'm fucking Peepaw too, listening to my version of CNN, which is 4 dipshits on webcams and not in suits doing talking points about important political stuff, but also, I don't know, whoever sniffed Destiny's asshole most recently, how garlicky is it? And like, I'm like, this is some good coverage, but I don't feel anything. I'm like Dennis Reynolds talking to P. Diddy in that one episode. Do you have anything you could spray on me to make me feel feelings again? I've noticed I haven't been feeling things. And that's what I think it is the alarm has been going off for fucking 12 years, and it's legit. But I think we just need to accept that the alarm state is just an alarm state. Like, we're just actually in the shit. There is no immediate fix. Can we stop talking about stuff as though it has the most dire immediacy possible, because all of it does, so none of it does. Because it's just all alarm. Like when the alarms are going off and it's 15 alarms and you're screaming at me and you're red-faced and the fucking lights are all red and it's lockdown and everyone, like, it just doesn't help. It's like we're in a fucking traffic jam. Spiritual, countrywide traffic jam for 12 years now. Like if you're turning 18 in these elections, I understand why you're a little bit fucking overwhelmed. When I was a kid, the elections were important because, like, maybe George Bush had kind of, like, stolen one and Al Gore was lame, but they were unfailingly, weirdly nice to each other, you know? And, like, 2004 was important to me because I was like, I'm going to probably join the military. And I feel like, with what I'm hearing, if John Kerry gets elected, I'll die. So I would rather John Kerry not get elected. He had a big chin. And then, you know, I got some political advocacy after that. But, like, it wasn't... We were in the middle of a major war after a major terror attack, like still within 3 years of it. And it didn't feel like the alarms were on the way that it does now. And I think it's just media oversaturation. Because, like, even when you talk about, you don't even permit people to, like, take an L at this point. Like, you can't just let someone go at the highest level of politics. Like, the vice president or the vice presidential nominee speaking, a guy who's a governor speaking to a fucking sitting United States senator, and everybody wants blood sports out of that, but then they want, like, civility out of a conversation on the internet. It's just all of our priorities are just cross-ass fucking backwards and stuff. We're, like, looking for victories where they're not supposed to exist. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't need to be a win. There's no win there. There is nothing to gain other than everyone, like, a loss that's twice as worse immediately following the delivery of the trophy. And I think it's like, yeah, there's wolves here, man. Stop crying wolf. I don't need you to do it because the wolves are here. Now it's just like anyone who says, like, I'm sick of people crying wolf because they're not going to show up. Yeah, you could treat them like assholes because it's like, dude, we're literally watching. The wolves are among us. The wolf alarm didn't work. Okay? There is no crying wolf anymore. They're here. Can you turn that off? Can you shut it down? It's just driving me fucking insane. And I don't know if everyone else feels like that too. It doesn't make the election any less important and stuff, but I just can't care. I can't care the way that I did. I tried. I just can't. I'm not going to fake it. I would rather cut my fucking toes off for viewership than be the guy that tries to fake fucking outrage. I can't do it. If you guys are like, why are you laughing? Why are you upset? I'm just legitimately experiencing whatever visceral emotion is running my body at the moment. I can't do it fake. You would see it. You would see it immediately. I legitimately cannot do it. And if I do it for any reason, like I'm acting, it's on and then it collapses and then it's me chuckling my way away from it. But yeah, I think that's fucking... I think that's kind of like where I'm at. I don't even know. Like, I was thinking for a while, like a year ago, I was like, oh man, I'm getting people. I might have like 2,000 people by next year. And now we're growing like crazy, which is still fucking cool. We had a slow month while I was off and fucking pissing off that entire other community. But I'm back growing again. Cool. And, you know, I thought it wasn't going to be big. Like, maybe I'll do like an all-night video game thing and we can like live stream the election results. And now I don't even know if I want to do that. You know, like, I don't want that stress in my life. Maybe I'll do a stream where I'll do the not watching the election stream. Only Killjoy is permitted to say anything about the election. But like fucking 4 years ago when this shit was going on, I was watching polls like a hawk. I was listening to people's coverage like, wow, we fucking gained 2 points over here in Iowa. Iowa was crazy. This speech went fucking gangbusters. Bada. And it's just like, now I'm watching the last vestiges of destinies that should have died 2 generations ago clinging to unholy life in the face of all need and want. Like, it's why you shouldn't have kings. Like, imagine one of these guys was actually our fucking king and wouldn't die. And you had to go like, oh, thank God. You had to be like the fucking cucked ass British and ring some stupid fucking bell every time Joe Biden doddered down the street. Oh, thank God, goes my lord. There goes my lord. Be even this fucking, even a sniff this close to that shit. It just feels un-American to have olds that are this old and incompetent being propped up like fucking fetishes of a bygone era. I hate it. You know why I think I liked the Walz? Why I like the Walz Vance debate, even though I don't like JD Vance at all. I don't think it was the civility. I think I liked two people that young talking to each other. A bald guy with white hair who's clearly a grandfather, and a dude who is like a little older than me, like I think 4 or 5 years older than me. A guy that's in his early 40s. Seeing two guys on stage that were that young was invigorating to a fucking degree. You know what I mean? That might be what it is. I'm feeling hope. That I don't know what it is. I really don't. I keep going back. I've been thinking about that fucking debate again and again and again because other people want something from it that I don't think it was ever going to give you, like some sense of satisfaction. You know, maybe it was that like that leftover desperation of like, please let fucking Kamala Harris beat JD Vance in this debate that's going to come up before, like, in that 3-day period between when he was announced and then Joe Biden stopped wanting to be president. Never fucking happened before, you know? And now she's going to be the presidential nominee, and oh, there's so many holes in her. I don't fucking care. I was going to vote for Joe Biden's dead ass. Like, what do you fucking thought was what did you think was the other option? But like, god damn. Nah, man. I just, give me something else. I need a different flavor. You know what I mean? Whatever. If you vote for this guy, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. If you vote for this girl, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. Just give me the Kool-Aid, man. It actually has poison in it. Give me the fucking Kool-Aid, man. I'm done. I'm done. I just want this fucking election cycle over. The only benefit to Donald Trump winning would be at least that's done. Can you imagine? I was playing. This is my last thought on this. I was playing Space Marine 2. And I basically like stopped. Because I've thought about this before, and obviously people have articulated it. But if Donald Trump loses and he doesn't fucking die, he's gonna run for president again. He can run for president from jail. He'll do it just to be the first guy to run for president 4 times on a legitimate ticket. And we might see Donald Trump with a 45 fucking 48 hat on. And if he loses that and he doesn't die, he might run again. Like, we might legitimately, like, it might be one of those things where, like, you have no chance of winning. But he's like, I just read it, I've got a 92, and you need other parties with me, and they stole it. It's gonna be all the way. I'll be like, could I be doing a Donald Trump impression? That's not like a fun throwback memory, like 8 years from now. Like, I want other people. I look forward to hearing Tim Walz talk more. I can maybe get that down to some degree, but like legitimately. And it's not like I'm afraid he's gonna win at some future point. I don't think he can. I don't necessarily think he's gonna win this one. It's not as in the bag as I would like, but I don't have the same feeling that I did in 2016, where I was like secretly like, I think Hillary Clinton's gonna lose. And then when she lost Ohio, and I was like, okay, so she's done. That's it. Bye. That's over. And I was completely correct, you know? I don't have that feeling. It's just an unsettled feeling about the entire election process in general, because it's an unsettling and non-traditional election by any fucking measure. But like, if he loses, like, he can keep going. And I could imagine him splitting the entire GOP, or them having to pay him an ungodly amount of money or something, because he's never going to not be a major part. He's the Republican Party until he fucking dies. Like, I could see fucking, like, someone paying JD Vance paying someone to try to drip strychnine in his McDonald's wrappers to end it before he tries to go again. Because he'll never stop. He might stop even running for president, but he's going to sit like a fucking godhead at the front of this table. You know what I mean? And be like, you have to come to me, I'm the kingmaker. Come in here and kneel on the ground in front of me. Just a deathless old man. I'm going to have to hear fucking Laura Loomer, fucking 59 years old, talk about he's in the prime of his life. Unsettling feeling that even the win here is a loss. You know, I get it. You still got to fucking get out there. I'm still a fan of electoral politics. The doomerism about it is mostly because they fucking got in the heads of the Gen Xers, and that started the too cool for politics movement that fucked us in the early 2000s and late 90s completely. To this day, you still have Bill Maher-esque type people. What's going on? That bullshit. Gotta move on. I'm like freaking out about it here and there. That I feel like I'm perpetually stuck in an election cycle that started when I was in college. And if you're a young person, I can understand it. But like, even I'm retreading ground. I guess that's maybe me. Like, we only got 209 people left. I think that might be me just telling you guys, I don't think I'm going to do much more election coverage. I don't see it. I don't see what the value in it is at this point, other than like redoing the anti-electoralists are fucking morons. I'm good. Argue with people about Jan 6? No. Fucking Destiny's coming out with a fucking a whole documentary on January 6th. He's trying to, by the way, if you're an editor out there, Destiny's hiring like $15,000 a head for editors to put together this January 6th documentary. He's apparently written. I don't know. He's just videotaping his manifestos now. So that's out there for you. Opportunity, I guess. But yeah, man, like, what the fuck? I don't think I care to cover the election anymore. I don't care to talk about it. I get it. Fucking Danabo, who puts together the hippy dippy stuff and the hippy dippy recruitment that I was fucking hosting. I think we're doing one this month. He's probably busy as shit. I think Dylan's in fucking Ukraine again. Like, he couldn't find people to argue for like the anti-electoralist stance or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm a never Harris person or something, because people are just done. Like finding a fired up person on either side of the aisle about almost anything these days is pretty fucking hard. You know, like, goddamn. I want to move on from this. I want to move on. I think that fucking Republicans should take the L that they're overly dedicating themselves to. Like, Connor Points is kind of right, depending on how you feel about him, but I think it's time for you guys to take like an L on a few issues that are dog shit and move on to the next thing. Like, you gotta stop doing how many more times can we do budget brinkmanship? You know what I mean? How many more times do I have to hear you guys fucking trying to like metagame an election and act without any due civility or regard for the rules in Congress? Like, I think we're gonna start replacing y'all, and I don't want necessarily one party to fucking run the entire government, even if it is mine. You know what I mean? Because it's going to make it feel like it's not a government of the people for the rest of you little fucking inbred psychos. I want you to be represented by the government. I think your representatives aren't doing a good job. I think that's where this is coming from. Bad content. Just bad content. Bad politics.